My wife skipped our baby's funeral for her boss's pool party. The soil was damp, black, and heavy. My hands still ached from pressing the shovel down, from covering the coffin that held what was left of my son. My son. There should have been two people standing by that grave, two shadows etched into the earth, but there was only mine. Her phone call had come hours before. Light, careless. I can't make it. My boss is throwing a pool party. This is important for my future. It's just a baby. We'll make another one. But this party, this matters. The words stuck like glass in my throat. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't remind her what we lost. I just stood by the tiny grave, lowering him into the silence alone. And while the dirt covered him, another kind of burial began inside me. Not of a child, but of something I once believed unbreakable. Marriage, love, trust. She thought I would crumble. She thought I would forgive. She thought grief made me weak, but she had no idea what I would do next. When she came home that night, smelling of chlorine and perfume, she didn't even ask how it went. Not one word about the coffin. Not one glance at the dirt still under my fingernails. She poured herself a drink, humming to some song that still played in her head. I watched her move around the kitchen like nothing had happened, like our baby never existed. And that's when the silence became sharper than any scream. Something was wrong. Not just indifference, something else. A fracture beneath the surface. Her phone buzzed, a message she hid too quickly, a laugh too forced, a pause too long before answering. The funeral wasn't skipped for ambition, no. It was something more personal, something deeper, something she couldn't let me see. Grief is a strange teacher. It sharpens perception. Every detail screamed louder. Her late nights, her sudden business trips, the way her boss's name lingered on her lips. She thought I was numb, but grief does not blind. It awakens. I began quietly. Her phone, locked, but not impenetrable. Patterns reveal themselves when you study long enough. Birthdays, favorite numbers. It opened in silence while she showered. Messages, not just work. Words too intimate to be professional. Pictures, secrets. A trail she thought she buried deep. The man she left me for was the same man she claimed to work for. The same man whose party she deemed more important than our child's burial. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I smiled at breakfast, kissed her cheek when she left, watched her play the role of wife while her eyes belonged elsewhere. DNA results came next. I had to know. The child I buried, was he mine? Or was I mourning another man's blood? Weeks felt like years. I carried myself like stone, while inside the fire burned through every thought, every breath. At night I lay beside her, steady, listening to her steady breathing, wondering how many lies lived between each inhale and exhale. Every step brought me closer, and she never noticed. The envelope came on a gray morning, thin paper that weighed more than mountains. I opened it alone. One line ended the last doubt. Probability of paternity, 99.9%. He was mine, my son, my blood, and she had chosen another man's pool over burying him. That night, I slid the report across the table. She picked it up, confusion fading into recognition, then into panic. You tested him?" Her voice cracked, weak, unprepared. I said nothing, just stared. Tears came, not for the baby, not for me, but for herself, for being caught, for the mirror I held up to her lies. I didn't mean. I cut her off with silence, silence sharper than any blade. The next morning, her world collapsed. The pictures, the messages, the report, I sent them all, to her family, to her friends, to her co-workers, and most importantly, to her boss's wife. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't touch her. I just pulled every curtain she hid behind. Her phone exploded with calls. Her reputation dissolved like sugar in water. The career she sacrificed our child for, ash in her hands. She screamed, begged, cursed me. Her words clawed the air, but I stayed calm. "You buried yourself," I whispered, and for the first time she saw me. Not as the grieving husband she dismissed, but as the man who decided her fate in silence. I left that night. The house still smelled of her perfume, the faint trace of chlorine, the ghost of a life that never truly belonged to me. I didn't look back, not once. Some say forgiveness heals, but forgiveness is for the innocent. I gave my child the burial he deserved. I gave her the ruin she earned. The earth took him, the truth took her. And me? I walked away, lighter, emptier, colder. Because sometimes survival isn't about holding on, it's about knowing exactly what to let die. She thought the grave held only our child, but she was wrong. It held every last piece of who I used to be.